The soul of man is immortal and imperishable, so live not as though you were dust, but as though eternity flows through your veins. Let every action be worthy of timelessness. Let every thought be measured against the infinite. Look not to escape life, but to live it so fully that even death is but a gentle passage, not an end, but a return to the source from which all light springs. Life is a festival only to the wise, to those who understand its rhythm, its rise and fall, its tears and triumphs. Dance through it, with strength in your step, with joy in your heart, and wisdom in your gaze. To be wronged is nothing, unless you continue to remember it. Forgive quickly, not because others deserve it, but because your soul deserves peace. Let go and rise above the chains of bitterness. The measure of intelligence is the ability to change. So evolve, adapt, learn. Let your pride dissolve. Let your ignorance die, that truth may be born anew. He who learns but does not think is lost. He who thinks but does not act is a dreamer. Be neither. Be the one who learns, thinks, and moves, the one who transforms knowledge into virtue. The foundation of every state is the education of its youth. So educate yourself first. Let your mind be a republic of reason. Let your values be the laws and your will, the guardian of its gates. Man is the measure of all things. So raise your measure, stretch your limits, test your edges, not to impress, but to express the full truth of who you are. One who knows others is clever, but one who knows himself is enlightened. Look inward, not with judgment, but with honesty. Ask, where am I weak? Where can I grow? And then grow. Do not seek revenge. Live well. Let your life be the answer. Let your peace be your protest. Let your success be your silence. He who has conquered fear will do anything, for fear is the jailer of greatness, and once it is gone, all things are possible. When the mind is pure, joy follows, like a shadow that never leaves. So purify your thoughts, feed them beauty, discipline them with wisdom, strengthen them with truth. As the fire tests gold, so adversity tests the heart. Welcome the test, not as punishment, but as proof that you are ready for more. Be ashamed to die until you have won some victory for humanity. Even if that victory is small, a single life uplifted, a soul restored, a light rekindled. Live so that your legacy is a whisper of hope in another storm. To do nothing is sometimes the greatest action. Silence is not always absence. It is space where reflection grows, where clarity forms. Speak less, so that when you do, the world listens, everything flows, nothing stands still. So flow, not with passivity, but with presence. Be like the river that bends yet never breaks, that carves valleys and nourishes worlds. Let your reason be a flame, not a blade. Warm, others do not cut. Build bridges of thought, not walls of certainty. The man who moves a mountain begins by carrying small stones. Do not despise small beginnings. Each habit, each word, each choice is a stone in your monument of greatness. If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Let go of needing to appear wise. Be real, be raw, be teachable, for only the empty cup can be filled. Those who are hardest to love are the ones who need it most. So love without condition, without demand, for love is the highest form of strength. He who is cruel to animals becomes cruel to men, and he who nurtures the smallest life is closest to the divine. Let your compassion extend to all who breathe, for we are one breath. In many bodies, you do not need many possessions to live richly. What you need is clarity of purpose, integrity of action, and a soul in harmony with itself. If the soul lacks the divine, then man becomes the slave of his lower nature. So reach upward, not just to gods, but to godliness, to the sacred within, to the noble above the base. Live simply, so that others may simply live. Let your life be light, not burden. Let your name be associated with goodness, with wisdom, with kindness. The whole is greater than the sum of its parts. So build yourself, mind, body, spirit, connect them, balance them, and rise as one. The educated differ from the uneducated as much as the living from the dead. So learn, always, in every moment, in every failure, in every conversation. Let each day be your masterpiece. Do not rush it. Do not waste it. Craft it with patience, with awareness, with love. The reward of suffering is experience. Let your wounds teach you. Let them be not open ends, but completed chapters. Turn the page. Write forward with a pen made of wisdom. Even the darkest night will end, and the sun will rise. So hope not with naivety, but with courage. Hope, because the soul that hopes is unbreakable. Let your ambition serve others, not just yourself, for what you give becomes eternal. What you keep is lost with time. Each man is capable of the divine. If he wills it, so will it choose it and become, not by magic, but by mastery. And when you stand at the end, looking back, let your heart say, I lived, I loved, I strove, I grew, and I left behind a better path for those who come next. There is no greatness where there is not simplicity, goodness, and truth. Strip away what is false, what is loud, what is hollow. Let what remains be real. Let what remains be you. To be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others. True, freedom is forged in responsibility, in discipline, in understanding that liberty without virtue is chaos disguised as choice. No one is free who is not master of himself. Master your cravings, master your impulses, master your distractions, and you will know of freedom no chains can take. The strength of the soul is proven in the quiet hours, not when the crowd watches, but when you choose rightly, when no one sees, when you say no to comfort, yes to growth, when you turn from what is easy to what is true. Let your soul stand firm in the storms of life, for calm seas do not make great sailors, and easy roads do not lead to great destinations. The Olympians did not earn their place through ease, but through endless trial, endless rising, endless belief in what they could become. Look upon your suffering as a sculptor looks upon stone, not with hatred, but with vision. Each blow, each pressure reveals the form. Within, character is who you are when the world forgets your name, when the applause fades, when the lights dim, and only your conscience remains. Cultivate it, speak to it, let it grow into a voice that cannot be silenced by the world. The tongue is like a lion. If you let it loose, it will wound. So guard your words. Let them be few, but rich. Let them be fire, but healing fire, not destruction. The untrained mind is like a drunk charioteer. It crashes into everything, tearing through life, blind and wild. But the trained mind is like a seasoned navigator, calm, clear, and steady. On course, be grateful for the thorn, for it teaches you to walk carefully. Be grateful for the darkness, for it teaches you to seek the light. Be grateful for the silence, for it teaches you to listen deeply. The most important kind of freedom is to be what you really are. Do not trade authenticity for approval. You were not born to conform. You were born to create, to define, to embody the truth that burns quietly within. Love is composed of a single soul, inhabiting two bodies. Let love not be possession, but alignment, not control, but connection. Love without needing. Serve without keeping score. There is no enemy more dangerous than the one within. The voice of doubt, the whisper of fear, the echo of failure. Silence it, not by argument, but by action. Rise above the pettiness of others. Let them throw stones. Let them spit poison. You climb. Let the mountain be your answer. Let progress be your reply. What you leave behind is not what is engraved in stone monuments, but what is woven into the lives of others. Make your legacy one of courage, of dignity, of presence. The seeds you plant today will feed someone you may never meet. Plant them anyway. The tree you nurture now may shade a stranger. Grow it anyway. Do not seek to be the loudest voice. Seek to be the clearest, the truest, the one that speaks only when needed. And when it speaks, it moves mountains. To stand still is to fall behind. For the world moves, time flows. You must grow, or you wither. Feed your growth with effort, with humility, with relentless resolve. Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle. Let your words be gentle. Let your gaze be soft and your heart open, but not naive. Kindness is not weakness, it is strength, refined. Let your days be ruled not by whim, but by rhythm. Wake with intention, act with clarity, rest with honor, sleep in peace. When you are weary, do not mistake it for defeat. Fatigue is not failure. It is a sign of effort, of striving, of courage spent honestly. A wise man is never angry, for he sees the world as it is, not as he wishes it to be. Accept what you cannot change. Transform what you can, and know the difference. The greatest battles are fought not on battlefields, but within, in moments of temptation, in hours of doubt, in seasons of despair. Conquer those, and you are unconquerable. Live by principles, not by trends. Let fashion pass, let applause fade, let wealth shift, but let your soul be anchored in eternal things. The eyes are useless when the mind is blind. See with thought, feel with wisdom, act with integrity, and the world will open to you. Do not waste fire on those who only seek to warm their hands. Save it for the cold nights, for the journey ahead, for those who will walk beside you. When the world grows dark, true honor is not found in being right, but in being just, not in being praised, but in being consistent. Let honor live in how you treat the weak, how you act when alone, how you respond when wounded. The soul that rises above insults, above envy, above petty grievances, is a soul ready for the heights. Let go, forgive, not because they deserve it, but because your soul is too valuable to carry that weight. There is no end to the path of wisdom, only deeper understanding. Each answer births new questions. Each step leads to more road. Walk it anyway. The torch you carry may not light your path alone, but it may light the way for others. Hold it high, even when your hands tremble, even when the wind howls, even when you feel alone. Someone somewhere is following that light. So live as if your life is the gospel of the noble soul, the scripture of effort, the psalm of virtue, the hymn of wisdom, and let the universe see you, not as a flicker, but as a flame, burning with purpose, unshaken, unstoppable, unforgettable. If you felt inspired by our journey through the Hellenic horizons, give a thumbs up, subscribe, and share your thoughts below.